Hey everyone, it's Dr. Taylor again from the University of Minnesota. I am one of the pediatricians and I brought along some pediatrician friends to talk to you about nutrition today. So I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Erica, Dr. Caitlin, and Dr. Regba. The first thing we want to talk to you about today is making meal times fun. So Dr. Regba is going to tell you a little bit more.
I'm excited to talk to you about making meal times fun. And we have a couple of suggestions to make kids have a nice time with you and the rest of the family during meal times. One of the things we recommend will be making meal times a way to spend time with your family, get to talk to them about their activities during the day. We recommend turning off the screen, like no TV, and everyone just puts their phone aside so you can actually bond as a family. So we also recommend getting the kids involved in preparing meals, because chances are, if they're part of the meal making process, like food, the cooking and the serving of the food, the chances that they want to eat what they cook is pretty good. So parents, you get to choose what and when meals are served at home, and the kids get to choose just how much they want to eat.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. Regba. The next thing we want to talk to you about is eating a variety of foods. Dr. Erica, can you tell us more?
I'd love to. So this is always the big question, right? What should you be eating? I like to tell families to follow just a few simple guidelines. So if your family likes to eat off of individual plates, use the My Plate model to figure out how much of different types of food each person should eat. In general, you should fill half your plate with fruits and veggies, and these can be really colorful things like green broccoli, orange carrots, purple potatoes, red apples, and then fill the other half with proteins and whole grains. So most people think of proteins as meats only, things like chicken and beef and pork and lamb, but remember also that plants have protein too. All different kinds of beans, chickpeas, tofu, lentils, these have a ton of protein that can basically be like a meat on your dish. Maybe you're thinking that your family is not a big fan of fruits and vegetables, but have you ever wandered around a grocery store and wondered what some of the produce tastes like? Find something new to try every time you go to the grocery store, and I guarantee you will start to fill out that fruits and vegetables section of your plate. In general, I think the more colorful your plate, the more nutritious it's going to be.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. Erica. And we're going to show you an example of that My Plate that she was talking about. So you'll see that half of that plate is full of fruits and vegetables, and the second half is full of grains and protein. And here are some nice pictures of various examples that you can choose from. And this My Plate is at choosemyplate.gov and is an excellent reference. The next key thing we want to talk to you about today is drinking more water. Dr. Caitlin, can you tell us more?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our biggest recommendations for families is that we want to encourage kids and families to incorporate drinking more water into their daily lives. An easy way to do this is by having a water bottle filled for the day with the amount of water you would like your kids to drink. And as they go throughout the day, they can just sip on the water, and also you can ensure that they're drinking the amount of water they should be. Another way to do this is between meals. If your kids are saying that they're hungry, it can be helpful to start with a glass of water. You can always move to a healthy snack after this if they're still hungry, but it's a good way to help ensure that they're drinking more water. The American Academy of Pediatrics actually does recommend that children do not drink juice. If you're a family that incorporates juice into what you consume in a typical day, you can start to transition away from drinking juice in an easy way. You can start by filling a cup of juice, just with like a quarter of juice, and then fill the rest up with water so that it's a little bit more dilute and doesn't contain as much juice. That way your kids still get a little bit of the taste of juice, but they're getting a good portion of water as well.
Yeah. And Dr. Caitlin, why are we concerned about juice?
So juice has a lot of sugar, and does not have a lot of other like nutritional benefits to it. So we really want to encourage kids to drink water or milk instead of juice.
So the next thing we want to talk to you about is serving sizes. Dr. Regba, please tell us more.
Oh, yeah. So with serving sizes, we would like to stress that serving sizes varies by the age of your child. What we expect an infant to eat is different from what we expect a school-aged child to eat. The serving size for a kid should be the size of their fist. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you were serving a toddler chicken, he or she should be able to hold it snugly in their palm. That kind of gives a sense of how much he or she should get.
And the last thing we want to talk to you about today is making healthy habits. Dr. Caitlin, please tell us more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do know that healthy kids turn into healthy adults. So it's really good to start practicing the healthy habits we talked about today while your children are young. This way, healthy practices become routine, and you don't even have to think about them as you get older. Parents can also be really good models for healthy habits for their children. Kids like to copy what adults do, and this can be really, really helpful when implementing good routines. So we have 2 good tips for you as well. When you go to the grocery store, it can be helpful to shop around the periphery of the store. This is where a lot of fresh produce and healthy options are, and it can be really good and important to avoid the processed foods that exist in the middle of the store. That can be a good marker for making sure that when you go to the grocery store, you're only buying healthy options. Another tip is to create a list for what you want before going to the grocery store. That way you don't get swayed by the tempting processed food items that we talked about that exist in the middle of the store. And never go to the grocery store when you're hungry.
Great, thanks Dr. Caitlin. Some other resources we'd like to refer you to is healthychildren.org as well as myplate.gov. These are great places to get some more information about how to keep your kids and your family healthy and make great choices. We hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time. Take care.